Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a live stream recap. So, as a lot of you know, Kebab did their live stream, so I've just finished having a takeaway. And anyway, right to the point. So Kebab just finished their live stream, which covered a lot of things. If you want to check out the write-up, it's in the description. So it's just some quick notes that I made from the live stream as it was going on. Some really important because I'm turning to someone from New York. Some really important answers to some very important questions that have been given to Kebab. I'm going to stop that now. But yeah, there's lots of things to go over. Summoner's Choice. We've got some separate videos that will be breaking stuff down because this is normally like a 20-minute or so video. Hopefully it's less than that. But yeah, we're going to get into some of the pressing matters that Kebab have indeed discussed. The first thing is that there's a New Yorkers, that's really weird as well, because there's a New Yorker style event quest that's taking place that is going to be centered around White Tiger. And then the side quest, which I think if you've seen my video earlier today, is going to be centered around mercenaries, which if it loads the image... this is why I kind of like... I did actually record this on like a video, then I realized that I... pressed the wrong button and I was recording my face for the good chunk of it. Ever the professional I am. But yeah, there's a monthly kind of... The monthly event is very A-team nod to. The champion side of things, Bullseye, if this loads, there we go. So Bullseye's got like more of a cruelty build. You build to a bar of power, get killer instinct, then you bait a special, do an SB2, hold blocks, you get passives, you're then able to stun the enemy, but bleed vulnerability, do lots of damage, and stuff like that. It's a great miss counter. There's also with the Awaken ability 50% debuff purify, so it's great for the double edge and liquid courage masteries. So yes, that's something. There's also the nod is it's good for battlegrounds and alliance wars for attack, battlegrounds, defense, and attack. And it's good for Alliance War. Maybe defensive. And it's hard to know like whether or not, because this is an Evade-based champion, whether or not, you know, Falcon with Locked On is going to be the best counter for that. Hard to know. With White Tiger, different circumstance for this one. If it's going to show... Is it going to show? There we go, White Tiger. So White Tiger she is a champion that builds power. She's able to power control. She's able to steal buffs. Buff stealing. Been such a long time, I think, since we've had a buff stealing champion, but power steal looks like it has to be readied. She purifies pretty well as well, which again is handy for certain situations and link ups, which you know, you're seeing her take down Gorr very easily. So that's great. Builds one SP2 for power steal regens. She's obviously great at doing SP3s to finish and things like that. Fury buffs building, you can see there. Amulet seems to be kind of like, you know, you have to wait for a certain moment to kind of throw that. And yeah, Awaken ability might be good for defense. Could be good for long form content, but it's not really shown in this particular video. We have to wait for the deep dive, which drops tomorrow. There was a little bit of a moment when Kabam Jack said that the death total has now gone at the 9 mil mark, which is pretty good for Necropolis. If you are looking to do a Necropolis run, I'm fingers crossed I'm going to be ready to do a third run this weekend and do another path. As you know, my target is to be Valiant by the end of the month, by any means necessary, and the earlier I can do that is possible. And of course, the more deaths I can generously give out to people, as well as I do, you know, say to everybody, go and do it now, is going to be a very important thing to do. Right, Twitch emotes as well are coming to the contest, which is going to be great. And now we've got to get into the fundamentals of the Summoner's Choice. Now, I'll be talking in more detail about stuff in a separate video. But yeah, there's no beta ray build this time. Will a champion come in the future? It's hard to tell. I personally think it will come this year, but I could be wrong. There's still 22 more champions to come into the game, so we'll see. Or 21 if you count that only one is in December. But look, we've still got the Deathless champions to come into that. So the other thing to note is that the champions are always suggested for the Summoner's Choice don't always... They have to kind of go through so many different types of various things. So whether or not this is like, you know, different Kabam departments, design team, narrative team, to see if they will fit. Which is slightly disappointing because I feel that takes away from, you know, the champions that players want to see come into the game. and like little to no regard for the community is done at times. I'm not completely look. Has it gone away from, say, the days of, you know, Quicksilver, which, you know, players wanted before the Summoner's Choice? Beta Ray Bill, same situation. And there are other champions as well within that. You know, there are people that wanted Deathlock, and then obviously the champion missed off that opportunity because of the Summoner's Choice. So those are situations I'm talking about, where it's like characters are kind of purposely forgotten because it doesn't fit the narrative. And a lot there's other stuff when it comes to like, okay, well, it's got to fit the what is it, like representation side of things. I try to put it in the most kind of eloquent way possible. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to this particular Summoner Choice situation, and Kabam Jax pitched Spider X for this one. But there's a theme actually for this particular year, and it's all about baddies. There's baddie champions, villain champions seem to be the kind of the big thing. In the stream, they go through several years of what was kind of like put before it, and okay, that's fine, and then go through this year's options. Now we'll break it down further in like other videos, but the no, we'll click the images instead. So your first one, if you don't know already, for the Summoner's Choice 2024 is going to be Shathra. So that's there. I think there's a lot of Spider-Verse based champions for this one. The other champion is going to be the Beetle, which is weird because we've had Blue Beetle recently. And we've also got, I think, is this rigged? Blob is coming to the contest, and yeah, maybe it's rigged, maybe it's not. There's also Swarm. I think I've skipped past it, which was, there is Shriek. We've also got Black Tarantula, and we've got Ruby Thursday. So I didn't show Black Tarantula, which is going to pop on. There we go. It's going to pop on screen now, and then we move on to Ruby Thursday. And that is like, I don't know if there's any techs. I'm trying to find, looking through the list, there's any tech champions that are kind of put into this, because they all seem to be either science, skill, a possible mystic in there, maybe 2 mystics, depending on how Kabam want to pitch them. Or, sorry, how Marvel want to pitch them. Because do bear in mind, Kabam, you may be like, well, I don't believe this champion should be of this class. Well, look, they're at the whim and mercy of Marvel. If Marvel say that champion there is a tech, they have to go, it's a tech. This is why MODOK's a science and not a tech, when technically he could and should be a tech. But and there's actually stuff in the Game Fast to kind of put that being as that classification, which if you've seen a video like years ago I did on an MCO, based on the MCOC mods video, you'll know that it's very weird times we live in with the game, especially if you're new to the game as well. So there's a lot of kind of like weird champions coming to the game. And look, does it feel like it's rigged? Don't know. It really does depend on like how the voting side of things goes for stuff. The first round of voting does kick off on January 19th to the 22nd. Second round of voting is January 26th to the 29th. Final round is February 2nd to 5th, and then winner on February 9th. Now, when it says the wild card, because here's the other thing as well, there is a wild card vote, which is the champion with the most reposts on the official. I want to say it's the same champions, rather than the wild card being, you know, previous yearly entries. You know, like Deathlock, like Marrow, like Armor, like Blue Marvel, I think. So many different options from previous years being brought back to kind of like for the wild card. I don't know if they're going to do it like that. It wasn't really given any indication that they will or won't, but we'll have to see. Like the wild card side of things, that will be, when will that be? The 19th of January. So it probably will be just retweeting stuff. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That is, well, a little while off in any case. There indeed is the final list of some of the well, it could be some of the champions. There could be some more within the wildcard. We'll have to see. You know, if Beta Ray Bill gets into a wildcard entry, it might be a wildcard entry that actually wins it, because a lot of these are not being rude about the mediocrity. There's some there that I definitely think is worth coming in. Like, I will talk about in a separate video about my love of some of these champions for whatever reason. But that's really that. We have got a lot to go over. There's a lot of bug-based champions that could come into the game. So we'll talk about that another time, but we need to move that over to Alliance Raids. Alliance Raids takes up a huge portion of things when it comes to this. I will try and make a separate video. I've wanted to make a how the Alliance Raids works in 5 minutes type video. We'll have to see if that stretches to 8 minutes, possibly. But there's a lot of stuff that you need to know. I've put the information in the description if you want to read off just some bullet points of stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. So it's targeted at veteran players, especially for those with what's the word? Diverse rosters. It's a replacement in some ways to Map 9 because Kabam said they weren't going to make a Map 9 of AQ. This kind of makes more sense to kind of refreshen up this AQ with this particular mode within it. So you need to be enlisted. That's a really important thing. You have to be ready to play all 7 days, but you can do it in your own time. You could do 1 BG and raid in 2, for example. So you can chop and change. You don't have to be everyone raiding at the same time. In some cases, you can assign roles. And I think it's important for communication with the Alliance going like, okay, well, what we're going to do is split. Here's going to be Battle Group 1. And we've got 3 people. You 3 people are going to be tacticians. You're going to be the others. You're going to be this. It's or maybe it's a case of going like to your officers or to your Alliance leader. Look, here is my strongest set of champions. Okay, your strongest champion, RichTheMan, is this champion that is a tactician. Okay, cool. Well, that may be best that I use that champion as a tactician-based role, and then I go through in it. Mainly because it's like, look, if I've got like Bishop as a rank 2 7-star for me, so it'd be like, okay, well, you should really use that. That's pretty strong for you. The same way it might be like my Alliance leader, let's be serial, has got, you know, the biggest, baddest Doctor Doom, for example. Okay, great. That is that particular role. And you and he will go and do whatever he needs to do. Like again, same thing. You know, Slay in my Alliance may have a really strong X champion, and I can do Y role. You know, again, it's like those are the examples right there. Like find your strengths and go towards that. Whatever's your strongest 200 signature ascended champion that's really friggin' powerful. There you go. That might be the best. You might be the best solution to kind of go and do this. So really, kind of, I think communication is going to be key, and communication will be key when it comes to like doing the different, going on different paths. So some other facts and information. You get it's 180 tickets, and it covers all 7 days of raid. First time is free, and as you do AQ maps, you can get more tickets. I think we've talked about this before. Each boss has a mission. If you choose to accept it, go and do that mission. This mode is not designed for everybody. There is new music. That's something that's cool. When you're in the mode, go in and pick a boost. Choose one that goes with your champion per role. So obviously, again, right boost, right tactician. Go for that. You know, I think it was Angela with a certain type of buff was kind of chosen. The same way, if you go a different route, then you've got like, okay, well, Iron Man was good for a certain role, which Jax chose, and it was a case of like his choice of buff was to benefit every time that you have an armor up buff, that you benefit from having more critical damage, and you were able to do a lot of damage, or crit rate and crit damage. I can't remember which one it was. It doesn't matter if you die, because you will be able to access the mode in different days. In some ways, you're meant to die. Obviously, it's not ideal to die, but it's not the end of the world if you do die in that particular mode, because you get more access to it each and every day of the 7 days. There's also some interesting maths. I'm just jumping around here, but Command Mike did a sum to say it's possible to do as an alliance at 420% damage. So that gives you an idea of what you're able to achieve in said battle groups. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but obviously math is math. Yep, you get free revives, and the revives get you up to 100% each time. So if you fall for whatever reason, you are able to get back up again. Even though that in some of the footage, you will see there is no relics in use. Now, there is relics you can. You are able to use relics, it's just Kabam didn't decide to use them for whatever reason. You will be given so many different like prompts to do. You will be kind of seeing a lot of these buffs and ramp ups here as you go. Kabam said that they were ramped up to 7 on this, based on everyone working with each other in alliance raids. But for whatever reason, you can get up to 10 with that. That's the kind of marker right there. Where I've got my let's get the red. Can we get red circle of doom on here? Yeah, there we go. Red circle of doom. So yeah, up here will be your kind of like missions completed and working with your allies to achieve said stuff. So like, okay, your person on whatever it is, tactician, has done X thing, which might be kind of do whatever mission it was. That benefits you on when you go in. So for example, just waiting for it to kind of like think about it. Come on, assault. So then it benefits you for the assault side of things. It may seem that this is a very kind of complex thing. We'll do a separate video on this one in any case. But yeah, it's just a case of like what you do as, say, a tactician. And it might be like, oh, I did all this stuff on Kang. I did 7 light attacks and 7 medium attacks. That means that's benefited the assault when the assault person goes in. That's not exactly it, but I'm trying to give you a kind of like a more easygoing way for those that are just kind of like still completely dumbfounded by this particular event. Command say this is an evolving event and will evolving mode and will always continue to change and improve, especially by feedback from the community on matters. And if you run out of the timer, you will die. There's no kind of like, okay, you go down to 50%, you just die. And that's not necessarily a good thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a thing. So again, you might be looking at this right here and going, okay, well, I've only got 1 minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes total to do as much damage as possible. And that's it. That's it. You can see as well what's happening and what triggering is, come on, grab. There we go. Like that. Something popped up that said towards tactician. So again, what you're doing is the assault player is benefiting those that are tacticians, and the tacticians will then benefit those that are support. So you've all got your kind of purpose in the situation. There's method to the madness with it, but the main thing is doing as much damage as possible, benefiting the next person. The tactician, go in, do your thing. Okay, cool. Support, go in, do your thing. Thank you, tactician, you benefited me. I'm doing my thing, and assault, you can go and do your thing. That's the kind of way it looks to be. So yeah, I think that's really it. Without kind of going into too much detail, because there's always kind of like tons of detail to these particular things. I think it's going to be important to like get some time zone stuff together. But look, if you've played other games where you've raided, because I'm sure some people will look at this and go like, I have no idea why this mode is in. It makes no sense against the je ne sais quoi of the game. I see that point because obviously you can revive and go back in again, which you still can theoretically do. But if you've played other games, I don't want to make, because people get a bit funny when mentioning it, but Raid Shadow Legends, if you do alliance boss fights with that, then you know exactly what you get yourself into. If you played any MMOs, again, you'll know what you're getting into. Titan Revenge, which is a game and Game Hollywood Games, which I play, and have a working relationship with the developer, and we do sponsored content with them a lot, have world bosses, and world bosses rely on a collaborative effort. Yes, it's not live collaborative effort, so everybody piles in at the same time, but it's more of a case of it's staggered based on certain elements, and it's very MCOC-ish. If anything, it is like Alliance Wars meets Incursions meets Alliance Quest, and we formulated something all together in a nice little package. But in case, that has been the stream write-up and recap. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go and check out some more information in the link in the description, and as well, some stuff on screen. And I'll see you all very soon. Much love. Goodbye.